NFL season Thursday against the Giants, and as strange as it sounds, the winner of that game will tie the Dallas Cowboys at the top of the NFC East with 2 wins as we approach in a couple weeks the midway point of the NFL season, which is just surreal if you think about it for just a second. The Eagles have struggled. There's a million people you could blame for sure. Who is it on, though, really?
You got to look at the quarterback. There's no question. He's the guy that makes all the money. He gets the praise when they win. He's got to get the fallout when they lose. I mean, that's just it. You look at it. Yeah, he did throw a pick this past week. They lost to the Ravens, which is a tough opponent. But at the end, he still is the guy who's supposed to be the guy who's supposed to be the guy who leads them away. I mean, all of those sort of narratives that was being set by so many different people at the beginning of the season. Carson Wentz, man, he played lights out at the end of the season and this, that, and the other prior to him getting hurt. And now look at it. You can point the finger at the head coach and say the offensive line, and you can say the wide receivers. But if you're paying a guy $100+ million to be the quarterback, he's supposed to elevate everybody else around. Damn that, right? I mean, that guy is supposed to elevate everybody else. If it's a lack of talent, you're supposed to take that talent and raise it. I'm watching Aaron Rodgers do it at times where he didn't have any receivers that was big-name guys out there. He was turning them into big-name guys. Undrafted tight ends out of Indiana State. Mm-hmm. I don't even know the dude's name anymore. Mm-hmm. I knew his name 2 weeks ago.
Right.
But it's so when I look at it, of course it's Carson Wentz. Of course.
Now, the separation here is, and if there's any bright spot, I was in the commercial break, I knew we were going to talk about this. Is there anything possible that Eagles fans could look forward to and say, look, Wentz has really struggled? If you watch that game against the Ravens, I mean, just every single play, relentless with the Ravens defensive coordinator, Wink Martindale, just dialing up blitzes, knowing the Eagles offensive line is as decimated as Dallas's offensive line. And we'll get back to some Cowboy conversation coming up at 8 a.m. There's so much to unpack after what happened. But in the division, here's the silver lining I can come to, and then we're going to get a real heated comment about Carson Wentz. Stay tuned for that. That's in 45 seconds. But I got to mention, if there's any bright light, the next 3 games for the Eagles, even though they sit right now with just 1 win right now this season. They got the Giants on Thursday. Winnable.
Yeah.
Right?
Very winnable.
Next up, they host the Cowboys. Winnable.
Winnable. Very winnable.
Then they go to the Giants.
Winnable.
Winnable.
Yeah.
So you would think that could get them right back into the division stead here over the next 3 weeks. Right.
They're 1 game out of first place.
Right. So if you're looking for a silver lining, it could be there.
Yeah. If you think you can win the division, go for it, right? Go get it. I don't think whoever comes out of this division is going to make any noise in the playoffs anyway. So, yeah, they can win the division, but winning the division isn't the goal. The goal is to get to the Super Bowl. They can win the division, and they're probably going to get bounced in the first round.
You would think the NFC participant, whoever it is, the NFC East participant, whoever it is, the division winner, likely will have that fate. Now, Dan Orlovsky, who has been a huge supporter of Carson Wentz. Dan played 12 years in the NFL as a quarterback, is an ESPN NFL analyst. And our own Max Kellerman from ESPN Radio and ESPN's First Take, they got into, if the Eagles were only this heated and competitive on the field, it would be something. These two guys went at it on how much blame Carson Wentz deserves on the Eagles' nosedive. We'll hear it from it real quick.
Should I turn down my volume?
You should turn down your volume, listen to this, and then Eagles chatter with Sal Palantonio in 3 minutes.
We should ignore all the bad things and just focus on the things that weren't Wentz's fault, right?
No, we can look at the whole picture.
Carson Wentz is a very tough and talented quarterback who has been underperforming his contract for 1.5 years now.
He's played the past 2 weeks. He's played the number 1 defense in the NFL, the number 2 defense in the NFL.
And bad situational football meant
and they scored 57 points versus the 1 and 2 defense in the NFL with
you fall way behind in the game. You
with absolutely no one playing.
Guys, calm down. I don't think you can put that on
What gave them a pulse yesterday?
The quarterback.
Jalen Hurts gave him a pulse.
God
That's
bless
what
America.
Gave him a pulse.
Jalen Hurts.
Yeah, Jalen Hurts.
I can't escape the irony of Stephen A. Smith asking somebody to calm down. That just sort of hit me. By the way, the contract that Max was referring to, Key, signed last year, 4-year extension, $128 million.
It's a lot of money.
It's a lot of money.
To give that type of performances that he's been giving. Yeah, 57 points in the last 2 weeks. So what? Okay, number 1 defense, number 2 defense. We can find any situation to set it up across the board for any NFL football team and player that we choose to do. We can find it. He did this. Oh, look at that. He was able to run the ball over here, but the reason he didn't do it, you can do all that. That's called cute to me. That's a little cute game that people like to play. Well, he scored 57 points in the last 2 weeks against the top 1 and 2 defense. Okay, that's cool. What about that throw? What about the fact that they're behind all the time and he's got to throw the ball and defenses soften up so they score points? And then when the defense starts to close it again, he struggles. What about that? What about those interceptions that he's been throwing in games? What about that 2-point conversion against the Baltimore Ravens? Those are the sort of things that you look at. You don't look at the statistical bottom line. And that's what drives me nuts about people when they start to analyze football. The first thing they do is they go to the stat line. Mm-hmm. Go to your damn eyes and stop always looking at the statistics.
We become a numbers-obsessed society. I know. It's not something you love.
Because it's false. And I've said that about my own career when I talk to people. Yes, I can go no catches for the first quarter and a half and get into the 2-minute drill and catch 5 for 35. Then I can catch nothing in the second half and have, at the end of the game in a 2-minute situation, again, I can have 6 for 140 and a touchdown, put them together, and first thing you do is, well, he had a great day. The statistics, look at it. Keyshawn had 160-some yards of a touchdown on 9. It's like, come on, man, stop.
That's fair. Not all catches are created equal. Did that one win the game, or did that move the sticks midway through the first quarter?
Exactly. That's the important part, not no damn numbers.
Fair enough. It's a great argument. Let's go right to the Shell Pennzoil Performance Line and welcome in Sal Paolantonio to talk more Eagles again, Eagles-Giants to kick off the next week of the NFL season. That's coming in a couple days. Sal has been with the Eagles and has covered them for decades and, of course, is the host of the NFL Matchup Show, the best X's and O show on television if you are really interested in a deep dive. Sal, good morning. Simply put, the biggest issue with the Eagles right now is?
Oh, the play of the quarterback. There's no question about that. I totally agree with Key. I love the way Zubin says Sal Pal's been covering the Eagles for decades. You always have to bring that up, Zubin. It's decades.
It's just to accentuate your experience.
Let's put it this way. I've been covering the Eagles since Keyshawn was with the Dorsey Dons, okay? Remember that?
Oh, yeah.
Back in the day, Keyshawn. But here's the thing. We watch football, and we watch a lot of tape on the NFL Matchup Show, and we don't even have to watch a lot of tape. All you had to do was watch the 2 Monday night games last night. And when you watch the 2 Monday night games last night, 3 of the 4 quarterbacks were dual-threat quarterbacks. 3 of the 4. The 2 quarterbacks that won the game were dual-threat quarterbacks, Patrick Mahomes and Kyler Murray. And the Eagles have a dual-threat quarterback on the roster.